stories about premature hustling?
It happens. I mean, we're old now. We're 30.
Yeah, 37. Sometimes you hustle when you don't mean to. Sometimes you just start hustling, you want to keep hustling.
And then all of a sudden you're done hustling.
Yeah.
So this is a Q&A. We have absolutely nothing to say unless you ask us questions. Can we get likes on the...
Can we get likes on our pork fry?
Questions.
I can sort of see his silhouette, and I know he's here to assist in the prosecution of this disgusting ritual.
So last year you said that at this point, when in front of the mic, it's no longer PAX, it's porks.
It's porks.
Right?
P-O-R-X?
Yes.
Okay.
We need to just crack it. So it's 3 and then go.
You're doing it fast. It's like 3 and then crack it.
No, 1, 2, 3, then go. 1, 2, 3, crack. Everyone crack it.
Everyone's going to crack at the same time.
All right, let's do it. Ready? Yeah, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Thank you very much.
All right. Go over here. What would you like us to do with our bodies? Okay. A couple years back, you guys had a comment with Gabe and Tycho looking at CDs like they were fine wine. And you had talked about how the way in which you kind of analyze and play games had changed when you were much younger.
Oh, sure. It's like we're gourmeting.
Yeah.
Sure.
So in the past couple years, you feel that has continued to change, has it continued to evolve, the way you look at games, the way that you play them, what you're looking for is different?
Yeah, absolutely. We have this, in fact, we were just talking about this, we have this list on the Penny Arcade report, which is sort of like a breakdown of what each of us thought about a specific game. And there's a column there for don't like it, right? And I find it very rare anymore that I put a game in that bucket. Just because at this point I sort of feel like if I don't like it, it's probably just not for me. Like there's a lot of games that I think are amazing games, but I can't play them. You know, I don't have the time to play them, or I don't have a desire to play them, they're just not for me. And so I think it was a younger man's Penny Arcade where we were like, that game's shit, right? Right. I mean, I think eventually we realized that no one was assigning us games. Yeah, right. I can just go and I'm spending my own money. I can go and buy games that I want to play and then play them and enjoy, which seems like a pretty good system. I don't know. I'm sure it's a system you replicate at home. The home game, if you will. Yeah.
So it's actually kind of funny here that you're speaking about nobody gives you games to play. I'm actually back from hell. You sent me there a few years ago to have the devil, be a bitch, I guess. So
I don't understand this story.
So it's actually at the WoW Dark Moon Fair up here in Seattle.
Oh.
And I brought that nice little deck that did a
infinite damage deck.
So you told me to go at the devil.
I did play I'm not a good loser.
Yeah. But then my friend came and asked, and apparently I was going to get the devil's bitch. But I get a 4-day pass every year to come here for this, so good on you. But I got something here for you. It's a boss monster, where you're the actual, I don't know if you've heard of this one.
Oh, it's a card game.
It's a card game. You're an 8-bit boss monster, and you're killing the heroes as they come into the dungeon.
That sounds great.
Yeah, they're for you.
Oh, thank you. Bring the place upon our altar.
Yeah. And I guess the other question is, what size shirt do you guys wear?
Medium.
Medium?
He's extra large.
He's extra large. Kind of figured. But we got them across the street in the annex, so.
Oh yeah, let's hang out. You seem like a cool guy.
So I've been to every one of these things since 08.
Are you Google Glassing?
Yeah, I am. What's up? You have it too, right?
I do. I don't like it.
Yeah, it doesn't do too much yet. It does even less for me. It's like an Android phone.
The only thing it does is annoy the people around you, as far as I can tell.
Anyway, so my question. I've been to every one of these since
08, and you know, it's getting kind of samey at the Q&A. I mean, there's certain traditions.
Are you going to shake it up?
Well, you know, there's certain traditions we can't get rid of, like hustling or cracking our knuckles. But otherwise, you know, it's getting kind of like, do you think there's something we can do to freshen this up? Like, a little spin on our brain?
It's not my job, man. I just stand up here and answer questions.
Yeah, but I mean, do you have to have it? Maybe you're making something different instead.
Maybe your question is dumb.
Do you have a question?
No, that was the question. I mean, do you get tired? Like, it's the same Q&A. You're doing this thing 3 times a year now. You don't feel like it's kind of boring? Like, here we go again.
No, in fact, the Q&A in Australia was excellent. Like,
yeah, I was there. It seemed like it was like going back in time, like the old PAX, right?
yeah, I don't know, maybe at Prime, like, we've answered all your questions. And people are still lined up.
They are, but I think a lot of the questions are questions like you've heard before, or, you know, typical, I'm
Do you not want to be here? I have to be here.
Right, I'm telling you, you can decide not to have this. You can decide to call it something besides Q&A. You can
I've been to every Q&A ever. I'm bored. Next person!
Well, I have every faith that something strange is about to happen. Does that help? Let's go over here.
Jerry, how are you today?
So good.
I have a very important question for you. Would you like a jelly baby?
Well, like a what?
A jelly baby?
No, I'm not allowed to eat fish
I'm not either, but I'm a rebel.
Wow.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, now we're here.
Yeah, my wife actually got super mad. She's like, why do you eat food that strangers bring you?
That was coated in a powder
Yeah.
of some kind.
Let's go over here.
All right, no life stories yet. That's refreshing. Anyway, Mike, in Strip Search, huge fan.
Oh, cool.
If you had to choose one person in the video arcade staff to go to your birthday party and the other to contract HIV, which would it be? And they can be the same person. The video arcade staff.
I would invite Levin to come to my birthday party, and I would demand that Jeff Cowles contract HIV.
Thank you.
All right, I got a question for you guys. Specifically, this is a question for Jerry. As you know, I'm Aaron. I used to be a video engineer on your Strip Search 2. Spoiler alert. And I got out of there because I couldn't deal with it anymore. You guys are doing nutty stuff there. I don't even know if it's legal. And that's my question for you. After Graham and I got our big altercation because I leaked to the Mustache News Network, I couldn't take it. So is it even legal what you're doing? Does Mike even know he's being replaced?
What?
I think this is the prank.
You have to be told it.
I was going to bring it up.
You know, no Strip Search studio.
Oh, he doesn't know.
I've been busy. I just got back from Australia. I've had a lot of stuff going on.
I think you guys are making a huge mistake.
All right,
This
well,
is the prank.
Mustache News is in the crowd. They're covering this. This is for your reaction. I'm sure they'll have a lot on their side.
okay, we'll check it out.
Thank you for your convention. I've always enjoyed it. Jerry, I've become familiar last year that you are announced with an extraordinary burden of power, with the ability to pronounce people actually married for real now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have an official document that means that I can really pronounce things for real.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that you could hopefully provide that service for me.
Yeah.
but there's actually a little bit of a step that might be missing that I might have overlooked.
Okay.
She knows having a
You have put her under a lot of pressure here.
Are you seriously gonna marry her right now?
Yeah, absolutely. Are you sure? Hold on a second. I need to talk to her for a second. Is that...
I'm great, how are you?
This fucking guy? Okay. No, she's sure. She's totally sure. All right. Are you prepared to tank? Are you prepared to heal? You're married.
You like took the class and everything?
Oh, yeah.
Marry these two. Marry these two guys. He's married.
Married.
What about you guys? Marry these two right here.
You get a marriage.
Well, my person's been seem a whole lot less sexy now. It's just Korean. Precipice of Darkness Gold.
Yeah.
Do you have a name for the fourth god?
What's that?
Do you have a name for the fourth god?
I did have one. No. It's not Kathak, it's not Cephas, it's not Modai. God damn it. It's like you think that you write a game and then do all of its fiction for like 6 years that you'd think that I would remember the last name. I'm here. I'll just blurt a word out later and then I'll be the name of the god.
Alright, awesome.
Okay. Over here.
So yeah, I really love Strip Search. It's like one of my favorite things this year.
I'm glad.
But as a game designer, I was thinking as I was watching it, a lot of the problems and opportunities that you were giving them, I would want those also. And I was curious if you ever thought of doing something like that for independent game designers.
That is a great idea. Maybe Script Search is just sort of like the model, right?
Well, I mean, Project Runway is the model, right?
Yeah. It's a mixture of Project Runway and RuPaul's Drag Race, really. At the end of the day, right?
Yeah, no, I think that would be awesome. If we get at the end of that, that would be really cool.
I think people would watch that show.
Good idea.
Then I
Steal it.
Hey guys. Doing good. I'm Australian originally, so thank you for taking your show to my country while I was away.
I had a great time.
The question I've got is, like, competitive gaming and esports has gained a lot of traction in the
Yeah.
last couple of years. And
It's been fun.
well, traditionally, you guys kind of haven't had a lot to do with these, sort of stayed away. Recently, like, League of Legends coming here and stuff, so I want to, what's changed in your minds in the last couple of years? Like, are you starting to get more into it, or is it something you'd rather not have?
For me, I've definitely been getting more into it. Until League of Legends really came around with the professional gaming scene, it wasn't a big deal for me because I wasn't good at StarCraft, I wasn't good at a lot of those games, and so I couldn't tell how much better the pro guys were.
Yeah.
When I played LoL, and then I watched a professional game, I can appreciate the level that they're playing at, and I think that's what you need for any sport really to work, right? right? Like, you need to understand, like, oh my God, these guys are playing on a whole other level. And so with LOL, I can finally appreciate that.
Well, and there's things specifically about LOL that make it good for this sort of usage, right? The main thing is that you have a small team of players. The players have defined roles, and they always play on the same map. I mean, these are the things that make it a sport, right? We can conceive of that. We know where the river is, right? To top, we understand these terms, right? And so a game came along that had a lot of, basically superficial similarities to extant sports, right? And I think that that's a big part of it. I still don't understand StarCraft. Like, I can watch people play StarCraft and I do not get it. I don't understand it. But I understand how to play LOL like that. And so I start to understand, where I would fit in that constellation, right?
So has understanding will help you appreciate other professional games more?
Yeah, I mean, I watched the Dota 2 championships that they had. I've been watching a lot more esports, and I think that you'll see esports be a larger and larger part of PAX as time goes on.
Awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I read your guys' comments as often as I can, and I'm kind of baffled that you haven't even touched the fact that Ben Affleck is going to be Batman. And I need to know how you guys feel about this. Truly, honestly, just right now, please. Or are you going to just try to comment?
We talked about it.
No comment.
We both really like Ben Affleck. I'm sorry.
Here's the question, right? So what we're really talking about is a sort of Batman versus Superman, Dark Knight Returns thing, right?
Yes.
So, I mean, will we even be able to recognize Ben Affleck under all of that silicone and paint? Will it be like a non-Ben Affleck in some way? Will it be an un-Affleck?
I remember it being really cool to hate Ben Affleck, but then, I really liked The Town.
Then you saw The Town?
And I really liked Argo. I think he's kind of a cool guy.
No, that's what I was trying to get at. Was like everyone was always like, oh gosh, Daredevil is Batman? This is a bad idea.
I don't think he'll be in the Daredevil suit. I don't think he's going to have like the Daredevil suit on. I think he took it. I think he took it off after the movie.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to put the Batman suit on it or like these. I don't think that's going to happen. That's my guess.
So that answers my question, but I do have a small follow-up one. Bat nipples, how do you feel about those on the suit?
No bad nipples on
Okay,
the
good.
suit.
Thank you.
That ship has sailed.
Alright. Hey, so 2 quick things. First, a quick question. What is the swear word?
I asked him this before the curtains opened. I said, you better have a swear word.
No, Jesus.
I think we might have to do it the next Q&A. Give us time.
Alright, I'm down. Swear word in God's name!
2 for 1. I will. It doesn't.
Does it have to be one word? It can be a combination.
It has to be something you can just say when something happens that you didn't want to.
Yeah. No, I think it can be 2 words.
No, semen curds was 2 words. Here, let me boil. Okay. Soon you'll get yours as well.
Let it sit.
It's all sitting back here.
Alright.
You're not.
Okay.
Does the hyphen count? I don't know. We'll see.
Hey guys. I don't really have a question, I just wanted to say something. I've been coming since 2009 when I was 13.
Wow.
Yeah, PAX has been a really big part of my life, and this year I almost didn't know because of a combination of money and work and things like that. And so I just wanted to take this opportunity to say how much PAX has meant to me growing up, because my family never really did holidays per se, so this has been consistently a thing I'm looking forward to every year. And it's been so much to me to share this with awesome people every year. So thank you guys.
That's great to hear.
So,
Okay. So I've come to a couple of these, and I've noticed that you spend a lot of the time talking about other stuff or being, honest. And I think that's ridiculous. So my question to each of you is, what are your favorite things about yourselves?
Think about ourselves? Like mine about him or me about me?
You about you and you about you.
It's completely alien. It has completely stopped my mind. Like that question is being ground into paste in the gears of my consciousness.
I feel like, I try very hard at it, I feel like I am a good dad.
I can't do that. That has to be real too. I can't deflect this ironically, can I? I was going to say that my ironic deflections. That's not going to work, is it? God, I can't. There's no. Yeah, it's great.
I can't think of anything.
Yeah, I know.
Or, a body part in general.
No, I
have that pustule.
Yeah, it's a great pustule. It is 2 times pustule of the year. Yeah. I think that on occasion, I'm able to sing in a way that does not hurt people.
Either my 11th or 12th PAX. Honestly, at this point it gets hard to remember.
There's been a lot.
There have been, and I got everyone. Excellent. Yeah. You keep beating me and I can't catch up. It's really pissing me off. The guy who said he doesn't like Q&As, I've been to probably close to 30 of them, and I keep coming up with questions and I enjoy every single one of them. So please do.
Yeah!
It's probably my favorite part of the show is the Q&A and interact with you guys. And my question is for you, Mike.
Yes.
Sports of all kinds. I also love video games. However, those two groups do not meet. But you have
They do, but they meet on the field of battle.
They don't meet ever though. Like, I've got my video game friends and my sports friends, and I'm trying to combine with tabletop games, but it's not working. And I know anything. I've tried anything. And I know you kind of are now into the NFL. How did that happen?
Fantasy football. Yeah.
There you go.
Football is a video game.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it's an RPG, and all the characters happen to be real people. They have stats, and you have to create a party that will beat other people's party. Like, once I started playing fantasy football, that got me interested in watching football because a lot of people have like a favorite team, right? Like they watch their team play. If you don't give a shit, like I don't care about the teams, right? So what I needed was investment. So once I had my fantasy roster, now these players, I'm invested in watching them play. I'm invested in how well they do. And all of a sudden I liked watching the sport. And then I started rooting for the Seahawks, right? So fantasy football was definitely the end for me.
So some kind of stat RPG kind of squishes the groups together and you can do it.
The reality is that the thing they have in common is that they like those numbers.
Yeah.
And they like to play games that revolve around numbers.
Yeah.
Like, they might not know it, but they have a lot in common.
Yeah. I've always thought that, but yeah, it's a difficult thing. Oh, I tried that.
Now keep trying.
Thanks.
Hi, so this is my second ever PAX. Loved it last year, amazing, and as such, this is my second ever time coming all the way from the UK to PAX.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've got two questions for you. The first one is, it's mainly, Australia's nice, but it seems like you guys have really enjoyed this.
Oh yeah, I had a great time.
But we got, the crumpets
stacking up. We got a lot of tea. We got a lot of stuff.
Is it like Fort Knox? Like, do you have a crumpet reserve?
We don't like to talk about
Wink, say no more.
But the question is, you know, how long do we need to get on our knees and beg for me to not have to spend so much to come over here? Because
Are you suggesting a PAX UK?
I'm suggesting a PAX.
Eventually, we won't even make the comic anymore. We'll just travel from PAX to PAX.
It'll be in a reliquary. They'll bring it from PAX to PAX and people will pay their respects.
I have definitely heard talk of a PAX UK. I know that the people who decide where Jerry and I have to go are talking about it. Whether or not that'll turn into anything real, I don't know, but it's on the table.
And by their best guess, they think that our physical bodies can sustain 8 more PAXs per year.
Yeah.
So we may arrive in the UK in a polarized form, and the QA will consist of you inhaling small portions.
Just remember your excuse from last year when I asked was that we have Eurogame. So
You do.
So I made a big point to go to Eurogame. And Eurogame ain't got nothing on this.
All right, this is, we've got information from good info.
Yeah.
My second question, because I feel if I don't ask it, I'm always worried that somebody won't and it will just be forgotten forever, is what was the joke Aaron told?
No.
Never tell them, never tell them. Ask Eric, see what she says.
Yeah.
Go find it.
Just because you guys give so much content for over the years.
Wow, you got a fan base, man.
Thank you. Over the years, do you ever interact with fans in such a way that make references to stuff and you just have no idea what they're talking about?
Yeah, we definitely, I mean, I don't remember every strip that we did 15 years.
Well, that's okay. I mean, that doesn't bother me too much. I mean, the idea that someone likes Pancake so much that they know more about it than me, that actually makes me feel rad. The actual uncomfortable one is when they'll come to you, you know where I'm going to, is when they come to you and they tell you about a joke that you did not do, that someone else did. They remember it as yours, and you don't want to embarrass that person, but still you did not make that comic.
I've taken credit for a lot of PvP jokes. I love Francis too, yeah, it's great.
Francis is probably our favorite character in Penny Arcade.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Have you heard of the organization that's nonprofit called Gamers Against Bigotry?
I've seen the site.
Okay. For if you're not familiar, it's an organization just trying to make gaming welcoming to gamers of all identities. And that's something that you guys have done a phenomenal job with PAX. Like, it's something where I hear from people all the time, and this is my first time here, and I'm really excited, but how you come here and you feel like you can be yourself. And
Yeah, the main thing I think is that a lot of the programming, so especially now that PAX is 4 days, like a lot of the programming in terms of panels and things like that, I mean, some people might not realize that anybody can put that up. Like, a lot of the panels are community panels that the community has put together. And so you'll see issues brought up that either I wouldn't bring up or I would feel out of turn trying to speak about, right? Things that I'm not gonna be able to add anything to conversationally, right? And so I think that's a big part of it. And so that's, whenever we put in that request for panels, that's not a joke. If there's something you want to see attacked, sometimes you gotta step up to the plate.
the question I have for you is, you guys have both been my role models my entire life. Like, I write comics because of you, and I write, like, words because of you. Like, I grew up with your comics.
We're using the same language.
Yeah, and too, and it's so cool. But you guys really are. I mean, you're role models for geeks, and we didn't have that when I was a kid. And my question for you is that Gabe and Tycho has a pledge that you won't use bigoted language in games, and it's a small step but an important one. And I was wondering if you guys would be willing to sign that pledge that you won't use bigoted language while you're playing games.
Over on the site?
Yeah.
What's the URL?
GamersAgainstBigotry.org.
.org.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you be able to do it?
Yeah, that's all right.
feel like you're the only ones that are offended by it.
Right.
By saying the pledge, it's like you're showing people like, this is something I care about and I'm not.
Right. Or this is something I care about, or this is something that is dumb.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or bad.
Yeah.
Whichever word is not lame, obviously.
Yeah.
You gotta reel that in. But yeah. I will handle it.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Oh, and suggestion for the swear word, postule?
Postule?
Yeah, for the swear word.
Postule? Give it some thought.
Okay, thanks guys.
I'm gonna look that up. That's real? Alright, I got it. Let's go over here.
Hey, who's the new artist for the trenches?
Oh, we didn't talk about what we're supposed to say then.
Oh, well now there's a new artist.
Right.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to be announced here.
Yeah, that's what I
Robert
saw.
here?
Yeah, Robert was being coy about it.
Oh, everybody be really quiet. Robert, are you here? Can I announce it?
If you were ever wondering who runs this shit, if you were ever wondering that, now you know.
Sorry, I have no idea.
I guess we'll find out.
We really are just like performing movies.
Hi.
Hey,
I'll try not to gush. I really try not to. I've been reading you guys since '99. Like,
Wow. Back next start. Yeah.
like the third comic was my first one, and it went back obviously.
thank you.
You went back for our extensive archive.
I've been keeping up like every day.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I'm 29, so you guys have been part of my life for over half my life. So
Yeah.
it's kind of weird talking to you right now.
You seem cool. You seem like you got it under control.
Doing my best. Absolutely. Actually, my wife and I were supposed to come to PAX last year. It's my first one. For our honeymoon, but the tickets sold out in 22 minutes.
Yeah.
No.
A lot of people want to come back.
Yep. So I have a question.
Yeah.
Other than thank you, and we might have upcoming pixelated toaster, is, do you remember the carrot cake?
Carrot cake soup?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You guys still do that?
We still do it?
Yeah, you still make yourself carrot cake soup, or is it still?
I haven't had it in a while. That's a young man's dessert. These days, I mean, it just goes to the hips.
It has effects.
I understand. Been eating it too long.
Yeah.
So I guess thank you for carrot cake soup
No problem.
and my cholesterol problems.
Yeah.
Dr. Diabetes?
See if Robert can handle it.
He is the man in charge.
True. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
very much.
Hey guys, I wanted to say I'm a really big fan of PAX. I've been to every single PAX since 10 a.m. this morning. I also have really been enjoying Penny Arcade.
Oh, yeah.
And I noticed Tavis made on his Twitter posted he made a felt book which you could store all his pins in.
Oh, cool. What a good idea.
That's a smart idea.
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys would be interested in doing like any branded one of those.
Yeah, so, I mean, the first year, if you think about it, we went from just an idea that I brought back from Disneyland to fully implemented what you see at PAX Prime in under a year. So, it's been a rush and a lot of work just to get to where we are now. But absolutely, like, binders, bags, displays, all that stuff. Like,
Boy Scout style sash.
yeah. Honestly, I love Penny Arcade. It's like my favorite thing. And so you're gonna see a lot more Penny Arcade stuff.
Also, if I could make a suggestion, sell packs of those little rubber backings, because those things fall off and are just lost.
Yeah. Hey, come up to the stage real quick.
Okay.
I don't know. We didn't work this out ahead of time. Listen, this is a magic moment.
Thank you. Like Jerry likes his glasses. Like for Jerry, it's a part of his wardrobe, right? I hated it. Like I hated trying to read in bed. I hated them sliding down my face. I hated going in the water. I hated looking over at night and not being able to read the alarm clock. Like I hated glasses. And so once I got over the fear of having a man shoot me in the eyes with laser, I decided to do it. And the procedure itself, like, I mean, you can probably attest this. It's super easy. It's like a couple seconds of lasers being shot in your eye.
You can't forget the cutting of the eye.
No, I didn't know. I did bladeless LASIK.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they shoot one laser into your eye to cut the flap.
Yeah, that's what I did that too.
And then they peel that flap back. And they shoot another laser into your eye.
Hey, I did it, it's fine.
You can smell something. It's a burning smell. And like your eyeball, right? Oh yeah, it's your eyeball. But they give you some Valium. When you get home, you can self-medicate however needed. And after a couple hours, I mean, you're fine.
It was nice to see the tables turned there a couple years ago when Jerry running into acne.
Yeah. Wait, but now you're freaked out about the next thing, which is vasectomy.
Well, let's talk about that.
Oh no!
You tell me. I tell people secrets to make them like me. Are you? Now, is
I am a female.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, but I'm thinking of vasectomy is basically like LASIK for your dick, right? Is it the same? Is it the same thing?
I had a very honest conversation with you in private, in which I divulged some fears that I had about some life choices. Let's go do it together. Let's go do this together. I don't want to be in the same room. Maybe it'll be a thing where like they let me cut yours. That would be pretty cool.
I would pay extra.
Wow.
I don't even know if it'll work on me. I have a very dense scrotum.
They have like a dining table.
Yeah.
Alright, what's up?
Apologies in advance for this selfish kind of non-question, but my wife
Wait, it's all business up here.
all business. Oh yeah, right, exactly. My wife and I have been coming to PAX for years. This year we weren't able to go. Well, obviously that's not the case, but for reasons not worth getting into now. But we made some sacrifices, and she said you have to go. Like there's no way we can.
Wow.
So she's watching the stream right now through tears, and I just want to say hi. Hi Rose, love you.
What's your name?
Rose.
Rose. Hello, Rose.
Good afternoon.
Hey, John.
A couple of right in July, you guys did a comment about when you were kind of working the Google Glass thing. You were talking about how Gabe was getting Google Glass because you got it to draw, and there was a conversation between you about how, well, Tycho really wanted some, but how many of what Gabe does is worth what Tycho does? Is it 100? Is it 1,000? And I just wanted to dive a little bit deeper into that question.
I like you. You're alright.
I actually wrote a webcomic myself for about a year and a half, and unfortunately it fell apart because of creative differences.
Tell me about it.
But one of those differences was the issue that we were young, like the comic itself was young. We didn't have a lot to do, so we had one guy doing our website. I was writing. My friend was drawing.
Yeah.
My friend who was drawing felt like because he was taking, his comics took like 12, 14 hours to put out, much like I suppose yours did when you first started drawing. It just took a lot of time. And so he felt that because he was putting in all the time, he deserved all the credit.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is.
I guess the question for me is, how do you guys feel about the relationship between writer and artist and being kind of one of the pioneering people in this field of webcomics? Has it ever been an issue between you two? And if it was, what do you guys do to work that out?
First of all, this is like the third writer who has brought up that strip. Have you noticed that? Which I think is hilarious.
Writers are made very uncomfortable.
Yeah, they really are. That comic got under some skin. How do we feel about it?
The comic is more important than either of us.
Yeah.
And so, if one of us needs to make a sacrifice of some kind, whether it's time or pride, those are not relevant. The comic is a third person, and that is the entity that we strive to create. It's a Gestalt entity, right? It's something that we put together, and so a lot of the stuff that maybe when we were younger would have been a very big deal, like fights that would have kept us, we wouldn't have talked for a week or something like that. We don't get that luxury anymore. You know what I mean? Like that has to be the main thing, and if it's not, these sorts of problems are basically universal.
So essentially, we stay together for the kids. Is that?
Yeah. That's basically it.
I mean, we asked the strip search artists at one of the panels, I think it was at East, like, if you could have somebody, to help you, like, what would you want most? And I think almost everyone said, I would want a writer.
So the last person, basically.
Yeah.
What they want to draw.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is for me. Like, I don't like the writing phase of it. I don't find that as enjoyable as the drawing phase. Like, all I want to do is draw. And so, the idea that someone could just write something and give it to me, I don't have to worry about that part. I can just draw it. That's the best for me.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
That's right.
Just to start off, this is my first time ever coming to PAX.
Welcome.
Thank you. I have friends who've been coming for years, and I've been here for all of 2 hours, and being able to stand in line and just go, hey, who wants to play Mario Kart? And have a bunch of hands shoot up.
It happens fast.
Yeah, it was just, that room filled up like that, and it was just such an amazing experience, like, oh, hi, I'm home, this is
Yeah, if you want to do street pass, this is your place.
Yeah, I thought it was good at E3. This is pretty amazing.
This is juice.
So, first and foremost, thank you guys for putting this on.
Our pleasure.
Beyond that, I am a big fan of Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah.
I found an unofficial expansion though called Craps Just Humidity. I was wondering if you guys were aware of this.
Craps Against Humidity?
Craps Just Humidity. This is an actual thing that a friend of mine found and that I bought and added to my set. And I was looking through the white cards. I was very surprised to see one of the white cards says, being raped to sleep by pit bulls. I thought you guys would appreciate that, knowing that joke lives on. That joke lives on, and it's been used in...
Yeah, I don't think that's a license we offer.
I thought you guys would be interested in knowing that exists.
That is novel.
No, we're very good at coming up with horrible things.
Yeah. And then my question though is, I read the comic that you guys did about going to PAX Australia, and I have a question. Were Gabe and Tycho able to defeat their Monday selves?
I did not. No, I got my ass kicked. It's very interesting. Going down there, it only took me maybe a day to sort of get my head right. Adjust that. But coming back, I was a wreck for a week. And I've heard that from other people. For some reason, traveling the other direction, coming back is harder. So.
Thanks.
Is that?
Hi. It's my first ever PAX.
Welcome aboard.
For like 12 hours to get here. No. Thanks. I've been reading since 2001, so you guys were really important part of growing up. I'd say thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
So my first question is, I love Mini Arcade, and somewhat related to what he was talking about, are there any plans to make Take Wolf 10?
Trying to me in trouble, man. I will tell you that we are not making any Dick Wolf merchandise. That would be wrong. Inappropriate.
Alright. Second is small request. Can I get a hug?
You get a hug from him. And now we're good.
Now, kid.
No, there's an extended romance. It happened so hard. You hug him once, I know. Believe me, I know. You hug him one time, you can't let go.
Hi, my name is Jeremiah.
Hi, Jeremiah.
This is my best friend and cousin, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
And he needs your help. It's a simple question, at least I think so. We grew up together, and one of the things that brought us together is a game called Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, one of our favorite games.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people do like it. That's one of the popular in the whole company I know, correct me around here. But we are of one mind. We love that game. Where we divulge is its direct sequel to Majora's Mask. We both love the game as a Zelda game, but we're in dispute about its mechanic that makes it kind of controversial. Timer versus time.
Yeah.
I think that it's an excellent mechanic, and my cousin, she's not exactly the same opinion. We'd like your opinion on it.
Personally, I did not care for that game. I did not.
Okay, that's one idea. Team Rachel. Sorry. Team Rachel. You fucked up, son.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Pleasure. Oh, yes, you're back.
And the second part of my question is really more of an event. Once upon a time, in a world far, far away, during PAX East 2012, Mike and Jerry rode a slut horse. And with that knife, you scraped off a couple of pussy crumbs and gallivanted off into the night, away into the countryside, to the beautiful land of Doom. Arriving at a strange little cave, you met a strange little hermit. And he had a gift for you. For he said, "You are the chosen ones by the slut holes. You wear the pussy crumbs as crowns of your ineffable glory." And thus, he gave you the booty call book of doom, the meat stick of questionable meats, and the mace of, well. So my question is, he's willing to give you one more thing on your quest. How do you convince him?
Tell me about this cave he's in.
It's an outcropping and a gentle sloping hill, very sandy, very sandy. It's set sort of desert.
What's the weather like?
It's a balmy 72 degrees with a northeasterly wind.
We only get one thing, we gotta make this happen.
So what we're offering him to get something.
You could offer him, you could roll a diplomacy check, you could roll an attack check, who knows? Let's see what
I bring the dice up.
All right.
I would like to offer him an HJ. What do I roll?
Animal check? of desert cake. So he gives you the extra chapstick. There.
Batteries? Like, okay, I want to tell you guys, that notebook is actually full of strange drawings to the writings of a madman. Oh my god, I mean, that's an artifact. And we may need that for the police. What's that?
I got to listen to your musings about the slaughter that was E3 during the DLC podcast. I was curious what your guys' opinion was with Microsoft doing the whole 180. Do we forgive them even though they got it wrong in the first place, or is there no forgiveness?
They literally had no choice. Like that, I've never seen anything like that in my life. Like that level of devastation. Like, 'cause you know that they had to have people working on that, and like trying to make some kind of a message, but they never had an opportunity to say anything. Like they just got brutalized. Pretty much from go.
I mean, I had never decided not to get, like, I like video games. Like, I want to play Titanfall. So, I will go wherever the video games are. I don't have those kind of loyalties. I mean, I haven't argued about that crap since I was in junior high and I hated my friend had a Super Nintendo because I had a Genesis. I think that stuff's ridiculous now.
But for my part, as like a CSI PR sort of exercise, like, the gamesmanship going back and forth, and then especially on the price, how they were able to remove the camera and basically come in like 100 under, like, I don't know, it's like the fantasy football thing. Like the meta game of the industry for me is very, very entertaining.
Thank you.
That's about it. Sir, you look great.
Thank you. The FBI has a strict dress code. Special Agent Francis York Morgan. Please, tell New York.
What happened?
That's unrelated to my question. Investigation. This is a stupid little thing inspired by the glasses comment. I'm gonna ask anyway. My curiosity's piqued. I've been to every PAX Prime and I've never seen you without glasses.
Oh, it's terrifying. Don't do it.
It's so gross.
It's so fine.
It's like a grub. Evil grub. You want to, okay, here, listen. All right, listen. I'm giving you a chance to avert. Okay, you ready? I'm prepared.
The collabo. Frontline tries to get him every year. I see Davey come up and beg Jerry to sing with him on stage.
Please.
He gets so scared. It's too scary.
We can kickstart it.
I mean, he is. I'm like a huge fan of his, and it's super intimidating. It'd be like if you were like a fisherman and then you got a chance to fish with Poseidon or something. It doesn't matter how good you do, you know what I mean? Like, you're still gonna look like a jerk. I know. It will happen someday. Eventually he's gonna wear me down. I won't have a choice. Or I'll just wake up on stage. And there'll be a microphone, you know what I mean? It'll be a situation like that. Work out something with him. Maybe there's a kidnapping aspect. Thanks, man.
Okay, so this is my fourth PAX, which surprised me. Wow. It's a little lower than that.
It sneaks up on you.
But last year I got out for the first time in a panel and shared kind of the heartfelt story and everything, so I won't do that this year. One of my really favorite things was the Penny Arcade TV, your documentary you guys did, which the name has escaped me. Is that coming back at all? Because that was one of the coolest things. And it's,
just a series? Just Penny Arcade the series?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, the strip search sort of took the place of Penny Arcade the series this year, but they've been filming the next season of Penny Arcade the series. We're filming 4th panels and episodes.
Hey guys, Gabe, Jerry. First of all, Jerry, I hope you enjoyed the scroll from East. But I have something I want to tell you. Last year at this time, I had to cancel PAX because my 25th birthday present from the universe was cancer. Sorry to bring everyone down. And happy New Year. Through all that, these people, I want to thank you, and I want to thank all of you for the love and the affection of this community, the support. It has really changed my life. A year ago I was dying, now I'm completely healthy, and thank you for that, and yeah, funny story. When I was in chemo, I looked exactly like Jerry. So somehow this story became a joke about me. If I can't go through cancer without being able to laugh at you guys, it's not worth it. Take what you want. That's fine.
That was incredible. Thank you, Sarah.
Nice watch, by the way. Mine just died on me.
Mine died too. I had to send this back. He's talking about this Pebble. It's like a Kickstarter thing.
Did it look like?
Oh yeah. Yes, it looked like it was receiving signals from another planet. And none of those signals were the time or date. And the time and the date and the other message, I'd be fine with it.
Yeah. Oh well, in the spirit of Angeline Petrichor, I wanted you to teach me a word.
Angeline Petrichor. Just a moment.
I promise my lexicon is not as vast as hers, so...
Thank God. She bested me, like hardcore. Like, I did not survive that encounter. It's pretty cool to see.
Well, I'll lie and just say I don't know it, even if I did.
Do you know Harrispex?
No.
Harrispex is a fortune teller.
Okay.
Right? Oh, y'all you are.
That's where we're in.
Yeah.
Y'all heard. Thank you.
Oh, sack vandal. That's 2 words. No, it's 1 word.
And then, Mike, I'm working on a paper craft deep crow for you.
Oh, cool.
I wanted to have it ready for PAX and give it to you now, but...
God, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah. You should be. But I just want to say thanks to both of you. And first PAX, thanks.
Thank you.
I don't know if you remember Comic-Con 2009. While that whole thing was happening, Torch with Children of Earth was airing. And
I would go back to my hotel room every night and download the next episode and like watch it in bed. Yeah.
Now, I remember telling you at one point, because I was also exhibiting at Comic-Con that year, and we spoke before the show opened, and I said, actually, it broadcast in the UK, and I
heard about it, and then the next day, on my way out of the convention center, you bear hugged me from behind and asked me in a very tense voice where your copy of Portal. And it turns out I haven't copied it onto my laptop as I was intended, because I wanted to watch it at Comic Con. I hadn't copied it. I was basically wrong. I feel really bad about it. I kind of sat in my chest like a stone. 5 years has it been? So what I did, I thought I've been to PAX since 2009 and had no idea. I'm here thanks to the generosity of a lot of really great fans. I wanted to address the balance and maybe earn another hug, and I wanted to bring you Tortured Children of Earth on Blu-ray. Oh, fuck. When are you guys next in LA?
Long-time listener for Sun Color. I think Acquisitions Inc. is one of my favorite things that you guys do. I didn't play D&D until I heard the first podcast, and I've been playing ever since. And I wanted to ask if Jim Darkmagic would roll my first ever D20.
Oh, absolutely.
Not bad.
Hi, I'm reading a comic book big fan of your guys. I'm a big fan of the Profane as well. My D&D group is completely insane, for instance. But there's other comics out there that are trying Jarvis from Legacy Control Collecting, most recent one I found. And he's really trying to balance the idea of being commercially successful and I think the idea of Profane. You guys do this pretty well, I think. You have the first one I remember really vividly was when you had that Gene Smolberg play Mario Kart, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bring those cards. So, it goes this with that, and how do you balance that between the commercial success and trying to do just straight up funny?
How do you try to be a horrible person and release horrible things?
Yes,
and make money?
Yeah.
It turns out there's a lot of people that like horrible things. That's been our experience. I mean, we never thought about it in terms of
that balance.
We just made things that we like.
Right. I mean, here's the trick: is that if you look at Calvin and Hobbes or Peanuts or any of the traditional means of becoming a comic person,
right,
there was always a pretty severe gatekeeper standing between you and an audience.
Right.
You used to have to play that game in order to create public work. And what you're seeing with Painter Cannon, we are by no means the only people doing it, is that gatekeeper either isn't there or is irrelevant. And so you can create the sort of work that you want and then be incredibly surprised when what you thought was something you were just messing around with your roommate with becomes some crazy thing that you couldn't even possibly define if you wanted to.
Yeah, you're not going to get a newspaper with that goal.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for your
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Last question.
All right, no pressure, right?
Make it good.
All right, so it's my first PAX, so I'm super excited about this. So I'm going to preface my question with, I love the Affinity Arcade Report, but I get like 90% of my gaming news from Zach Palm.
Oh, cool.
So,
Now, those are cool dudes. I got no problem with that.
oh yeah. And so since gaming is such a huge part of your professional and personal lives, are there like news sources that you feel like you have to go for news, and what are the places you go because you want to?
Besides the Penny Arcade Report, I think Polygon is doing an amazing job.
I'm usually pretty good between Giant Bomb and Polygon.
Yeah.
I like that. I especially like some of the really long form pieces Polygon's been doing.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Hey guys, enjoy the rest